Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in. Just wanted to show off the finished Aliens motion tracker. So this, it was, I want to say it was fairly straightforward. It turned out to be a little bit more work than I thought. Just whenever my 3D printers were free, I'd sort of throw on a part and then print them. So the models are on Thingiverse. As I've described maybe in another video, for this particular build, you got to scale those models up on Thingiverse 111% to get it to be an accurate size. So like 110, 111 basically gets the main body, which is kind of this part from here, from here to here, approximately the same size as the original Kango hammer drill, which is what the prop was based on. So I had a friend online that was able to measure theirs and give me some dimensions, and basically it gets you in the ballpark, right? Like this motion tracker is not 100% accurate in terms of size and proportions. It's close, but it's just not 100% exact. That's okay for cosplay reasons. It's a great model, so definitely jump onto Thingiverse there and check it out. But yeah, just wanted to show off some particular things. Most of it is FDM printed. There's a couple resin printed parts. Some of the smaller greeblies and whatnot were resin printed, but most of it's FDM. And so I just smoothed them and did a little primer and filler primer, and then got it working. And I decided not to do the brown Bess. I kind of like that sort of army OD green look, and this is actually not 100% OD green. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but I actually mixed a bit of OD green and a dark camouflage brown together. So it's sort of like maybe 2/3 OD and 1/3 of the brown, just to kind of get it in the ballpark, because I knew that I'd be doing weathering with like a brown black, and that would kind of warm it up even a bit more. So it might be a little hard to tell, but I'll try to get the camera to focus. But I sort of did a wash with oil-based paints, and then naphtha, using a cloth with some naphtha to thin it down, and then wiping it down with a bit of naphtha, and then some spritzing with more naphtha. And that kind of gets you this really nice, like, dirty tool look. That's what I want to call it. You could see here, just it leaves like this nice sort of like residue all over, right? So it takes a little bit longer to dry than water-based acrylics, but the look is great, right? So one of the features of my particular build, there's another builder on YouTube that made one using an MP3 player, and they took their MP3 player completely apart. I believe also the one that they used, the screen was slightly bigger. Mine was slightly smaller. It was just the one that I found on Amazon that was at a good price. So, and I decided not to take my MP3 player apart. I just wanted to leave it as is. So I actually wouldn't recommend this one. It's really hokey. I believe the video size is 320 by 240, and I'm happy to share the files for the tracker. So the Joe-like, the maker of this MP3 player, they make you download like this weird video processor to convert to some sort of format that's an AVI video, but it only seems to work in that format to play on this MP3 player. So it took a lot, and I'm a fairly experienced video person, so I had to use like Premiere and stuff like that and export things in the right resolution, and I had to mess around with that exporter. So what I did was I took the video from the Hollywood Collectibles Group website, which is, they made like that sort of limited edition 1,000 motion tracker thing, and they had a video on their website which uses like right click and download. I took that into Premiere, and I basically copied the beginning sort of click sequence 4 times, and then put the beeping with the aliens kind of converging, closer and closer in meters towards the end. So it ends up being like about a 1-minute video, which I figured is fine for like a convention or something like that. So anyways, if I just, it's a touch screen, right? So it's literally the only file I have on here. So there it is playing. I made the door removable using rare earth magnets, so it just snaps on. So I ended up not using the Thingiverse file for the Hama slide viewer. I had to make my own, which is about, even though it's about 5% bigger than the 111% version that's on Thingiverse, but it looks really cool. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Sorry for the reflections there. It's kind of much brighter in person, but So yeah, you can see the countdown there, and it works really great. So what I did to make it a bit louder, because this MP3 player has, and I'll try to turn this down a bit. It's getting a little bit annoying. There we go. There, I'll turn it down. What I did was I made it so that I can snap the MP3 player in and out. I made my own bracket here. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but right there is a 90-degree stereo cable, which goes into a hole that I drilled on the side of the main body, which goes to a, one of those sort of like round ball speakers with like the old style stereo jack, 3.5 millimeter stereo jack. That's basically inside, and I made a bracket to hold it in place. So that you can hear the sound. And I haven't finished it yet, but I kind of made this kind of grill here that I made covering with a mesh, and it's just loose right now, but I'm gonna glue it in place so that it looks like it's the filter or whatever that was for the hammer drill. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I ended up having to resize some of the sticker graphics that came with the Thingiverse file to make it work. It came with these 3 stickers, but it didn't come with this graphic. Oh, sorry, this graphic, which is the bottom of the Vivitar camera flash thing. So I basically made that myself in Photoshop to fit. So if I get a chance, when I get some time, I will maybe try and do a remix of the Thingiverse files and sort of whatever, share them if that's allowed from the original maker. Because there were some problems with the files too. There were some parts that weren't like flat sitting on the bed, and there was probably 3 or 4 instances where the models were like corrupted. They had like open seams and stuff like that. So I had to repair those as well too. But I'm happy with the way it came out. In particular, the weathering. Again, I'm just using my phone, so it's not great kind of resolution or great detail, but like I'm really happy with the way that the weathering turned out. Did a little bit of like silver paint, just to the highlights, not going crazy, trying to pay attention to where it's going to get chipped, right? So, nothing really gets chipped along the inside edges because nothing's going to touch that, but anything that's kind of on the outside and corners, it's going to get damaged a bit more. And then another trick that I like to do sometimes is even after the prop is painted, I'll take like a microfiber cloth or something and just give it a buff in certain areas, and that'll just give it like a little bit of like a shine, which often happens with certain things like plastic or whatever, or like if you're touching an area a lot, like if you're holding this in your, if you're holding your pulse rifle with the right hand and you're holding this in your left, chances are this area right here is going to get worn down and more shiny than the rest of the prop, right? So they're just nice little details that you can add in there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I might change this hose. I actually ran out of like rubber hose, and it's actually clear hose with like a heat shrink tube on top. That's all I had just at home. But when I get a chance to find a proper rubber hose, I'll try and do that. But yeah, I hope you like it. That was a lot of fun to work on, and hopefully it inspires other people to make them as well too. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.